exhibits that were laid on the table of the County Assembly during the morning sitting when the House carried out the impeachment proceedings. Certified Hansard reports from that proceedings of the County Assembly of Isiolo, the documents that have been presented before the Senate as evidence from both the Defense Council as well as the council representing the County Assembly of Isiolo. And to just take you through some of the lawyers who will be representing the both parties during this sitting is that the team of advocates for the County Assembly include Dr. Ekuro Okot, Mr. Murigi Eric Murioki, Jamal Abdikadir, Paul Wafula, Kosgei Alvin Kimboi, and Aromo Marion, who is a legal assistant, just to name but a few. A number of witnesses will be coming to testify in the charges facing the governor for Isiolo. The County Assembly has brought a number of witnesses, among them Abubakar Abdi Godana, who is an MCA in the region. There are about 4 MCAs. The others are Lorot Nicholas Ewoton, Peter Losu, and Lemalentile David Ritzirian. Those are MCAs, and Anab Kasim and Abdi Raham Mohammed Ibrahim being the witnesses that will be appearing before the Senate to support the grounds for impeachment by the County Assembly. Among the other lawyers representing the County Assembly are advocates Paul Nyamodi, Alex Mbaya, and Patrick Barasa, as well as Brenda Mwangi. On the side of the governor has lined up over 10 lawyers seeking to defend himself before the Senate in the proceedings that commenced this morning. Among them is lawyers Elisha Ongoya, Advocate Eric Theuri, Advocate Elias Mutuma, Advocate Ruth Kiunga, and Ali Fila as a legal assistant, among others. The witnesses for the governor will be including Mr. Salad Boru Guracha, Habiba Galgalo Jirma, and Honorable Abdinur Dimajilo, as well as Shaban Mzungu. The governor has lined up 5 witnesses whom he'll be relying on to convince senators as to why the charges before the House do not hold any water. A number of documents are already before the Senate. This is following the directive by the Speaker when the House had a special sitting on this matter, where the Speaker directed the clerk of the Senate to furnish the parties involved with the requirements to present documents before the impeachment hearing commences. I want to believe that was on the 4th of July being the deadline, or the 5th or thereabout. Among them is that the Speaker of the Isiolo County Assembly submitted that the actions, this action being the actions of the County Assembly holding sittings and the resolution to kick out the governor, were not actions merely administrative infractions, but severe violations with legal ramifications, including the violation of administrative and employment tools, abuse of office, and criminal offenses, and constitutional institutional breach. These are being some of the grounds that the governor was impeached on by the County Assembly of Isiolo. I quickly want to take you through the charges that the governor for Isiolo County will be seeking to have the Senate not have the threshold upon the conclusion of this process, as during the night of the 10th day of July, the House is required to vote on each and every charge, and we require about 25, not even about, we require at least 25 senators to vote on each charge, where if that threshold is achieved, even on one ground, the governor will be considered to have been impeached by the Senate as well. The charges facing the governor include charge number 1 on the gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, where the governor is said to have grossly violated Section 30, subsection 2K of the County Governments Act by failing to deliver an annual State of the County address for 3 years that he has been in office. The County Assembly proceeds to list that the governor has grossly violated Articles 201, subsection D and E of the Constitution by employing a bloated workforce. This includes the 36 advisors in the office of the governor, 31 chiefs, these being chief officers, yet the county has only 6 departments, 2 deputy county secretaries, whose positions are not known in law. The other charge that the governor will be seeking to debunk is the charge facing him on matters to do with abuse of office. The Speaker is on the mic. Well, that is an extra 10 minutes given by the Speaker per the House standing orders on matters quorum, where senators are expected to make their way into the chamber this morning for the House to raise quorum, to commence the hearing and determination of the charges facing the governor for Isiolo County. Before I handed you over back to the chamber, I was just telling you about charge number 2 facing the governor for Isiolo, the charge being abuse of office. The County Assembly, during its hearing and determination of the impeachment motion that was tabled before the County Assembly, listed the ground on abuse of office as one of the grounds or an impeachable offense by the governor. And the County Assembly has stated that the governor has engaged in acts and omissions which singularly and collectively amount to abuse of office and gross violation of, among others, Articles 201, 232 of the Constitution, and Sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, subsection 1 and 35 of the Leadership and Integrity Act of 2012, by appointing 36 advisors to the office of the governor. This is contrary to the Salaries and Remuneration Commission SRC circular dated on the 29th day of July 2013 and 6th of September 2013, issuing the guidelines from the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, which limits the maximum number of advisors to 3. So according to the County Assembly, the appointment of 36 senators is in contravention with that law. The appointment of 31 chief officers instead of 18, which are provided for in the county executive staff establishment of July 2022, yet the county government has only 6 departments. So according to the County Assembly, this is a bloated workforce and goes against the required establishment of 18, with the current number being 31. The County Assembly also has indicated that the governor has appointed chief officers under 2-year contracts, and thus creating a climate of fear and uncertainty, which reduces public servants to be servants of the governor and not the servants of the people. And this, according to the County Assembly, is contrary to Article 73, subsection 1B of the Constitution. The governor is also alleged to have failed to renew contracts of 31 chief officer. Instead, the governor directed that the chief officers handed over to the county executive committee members, significantly affecting the continuity of service delivery in the County Assembly. And finally, the appointment of 2 deputy county secretaries. These are the positions not known in law and are not in the county staff establishment. The other charge, the last charge, that the governor and his defense team, as well as the witnesses, will be seeking to have the Senate not find the charge holding water, is charge number 3 on gross misconduct, where the governor is accused of making disrespectful, sexist and demeaning statements against Senator Fatuma Dulo. This is the governor, this is the senator for Isiolo County. These disrespectful and demeaning remarks were made publicly, and that are not only meant to denigrate and degrade her as a woman leader, and thus violating the right to her dignity. According to the County Assembly, the governor for Isiolo did not demonstrate in his utterances the respect for the people and public officers, as well as bring dignity and maintain public confidence in the office that he holds, breaching public trust by making divisive and derogatory and discriminatory remarks against other clans residing in Isiolo County, and thus undermining the public confidence in the integrity of his office, as well as sowing the seeds of discord in the community. The governor, under the charge on gross misconduct, is also being accused of continually being absent from the county and running its affairs remotely from Nairobi, and thus stalling a service delivery. These charges will be read before the governor this morning when the House commences this hearing, where the governor will be asked to plead whether guilty or not guilty on the 3 grounds. And if he pleads not guilty, the House will proceed to hear the matter facing the governor for Isiolo County before voting on each and every charge on the 10th day of July. In the program for this impeachment, the Senate commences this hearing and determination proceedings by conducting a pre-hearing meeting for senators. This is a closed session where senators will be briefed on the rules of engagement. We'll be having the preliminaries where the recital of the mandate of the Senate, the rules of procedure, and the hearing program will be stipulated. We'll be having the introduction of members of the County Assembly of Isiolo representing the County Assembly and their councils. The County Assembly of Isiolo has lined up over 8 advocates to defend their case before the House, seeking to have the Senate uphold the impeachment. The introduction of the governor for Isiolo and the council representing the governor will be following after the introduction of the County Assembly. By around 11:30 a.m. this morning, we'll be having the reading of the charges facing the governor, and members of the Senate will be allowed to have preliminary questions or raise issues of concern before the House delves into these proceedings officially. After that, we'll be having the opening statements on behalf of the County Assembly, which will be 30 minutes. This will be done by the council representing the County Assembly, with that time allocated 30 minutes. The council will be seeking to convince senators that their case indeed holds water. The council representing the governor for Isiolo County will also be given 30 minutes to make a case for themselves this morning. Then after that, the House will begin the consideration of evidence by the County Assembly. This is evidence of witnesses, if any, cross-examination and re-examination. This has been allocated a total of 5 hours. The County Assembly has a maximum of 3 hours for evidence by witnesses and re-examination, if any, so they have to plan themselves within the 3 hours, and the team of the governor given 2 hours for cross-examination. The sitting for today is scheduled to end at about 6:30 p.m., being the adjournment of the House. But remember, dear viewers, from time to time, from the other impeachments that the Senate has handled, the Speaker is at liberty to extend that particular period by the powers given to him in the House standing orders. The House is awaiting to raise quorum to commence the hearing and investigations into matters impeachment facing the Isiolo governor, Governor Ibrahim Hassan, the governor for Isiolo County. On your screens, you can see the conversation between the clerk of the Senate, Clerk Jeremiah Nyegenye, and a senior clerk, Clerk Mohammed, deliberating with the Speaker of the Senate before the commencement of the business of the Senate this morning. Remember, this sitting is taking place after the Speaker of the House, via a Gazette notice on the 1st day of July, appointed the 8th day of July 2025, and Wednesday the 9th of July and the Thursday the 10th of July as the dates for the hearing and the determination of the matter. The clerk of the Senate already invited the County Assembly to appear before the Senate and be represented before the Senate during its investigations, and was served by the advocates of the County Assembly on the 1st day of July. The invitation required the County Assembly to file with the office of the clerk of the Senate by 5 p.m. on the 4th day of July a soft copy of 80 hard copies, being documentation of the evidence that they'll be relying on in the matter facing the governor for Isiolo County. Well, we continue to await that pertinent quorum by senators this morning. Already that number is being marshaled within the presence of Parliament for senators to make their way into the chambers this morning. In the invitation by the clerk of the Senate to the County Assembly, who are required to appear before the Senate, the County Assembly is required to designate members of the Assembly, being not more than 3, if any, who shall attend and represent the County Assembly in the proceedings before the Senate. The clerk also indicated the mode of appearance before the Senate, whether the county assemblies will be appearing in person by an advocate or in person and by an advocate. This is a situation where we have MCAs accompanied by their advocates, which has been a replica in many impeachment cases that the Senate has held in the past. Remember, this is not the first impeachment that the House is considering after the 2022 elections. The Senate has previously had and determined the impeachment case facing the governor for Meru County and the governor for Kericho. Where in the case for Kericho governor, among the issues that the House had to determine is whether a person may be counted as half or full, bearing in mind the county had presented a number with a 0.5, and that was a contentious matter before the House. But allow me to take you back before the matter before us today, which is the matter pertaining the impeachment for the governor for Isiolo, where the House, this being the County Assembly, is also required to indicate the names and addresses of persons to be called as witnesses, if any, witness statements containing a summary of the evidence to be presented by such witnesses before the Senate. Allow me to hand you over. My name is Gladys.
Clerk, you may proceed to call the first order.
Order number 1, communication from the chair.
Honorable Senators, I have a communication to make relating to the business of the Senate scheduled for consideration during this solemn sitting. You will recall that at the special sitting of the Senate, held on Monday, 30th of June 2025, I appointed today, Tuesday the 8th of July, Wednesday the 9th of July, and Thursday the 10th of July 2025 as the days when the Senate will hear the charges for the proposed mover from office by impeachment of Honorable Abdi Ibrahim Hassan, the Governor of Isiolo County. Via Gazette Notice number 8732 dated 1st of July 2025, I notified the general public that pursuant to Standing Order 81B2 of the Senate Standing Orders, the Senate shall investigate the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Abdi Ibrahim Hassan, the Governor of Isiolo County, in plenary. Consequently, a hearing program has been prepared and is appended to the order paper for today. Honorable Senators, in accordance with the schedule of activities for an impeachment hearing in plenary, the Senate will hold a closed-door preparatory session to deliberate on the management of the investigation. The objective of the preparatory session is to ensure that the process is conducted seamlessly concluded tenaciously and in line with the requirements set out under the Constitution and the Senate standing orders. Honorable Senators, during the pre-hearing, the parties, if they are present, all members of public and the media will be expected to withdraw from the chamber, and the galleries and any form of broadcasting from the chamber shall cease. Consequently, I now direct the parties, if they are present, members of the public and the media, to withdraw from the chamber and the galleries, and that any form of broadcast from the chamber to cease forthwith. In accordance with the hearing program for an impeachment hearing in plenary, the open session will commence at 10 a.m. I thank you, Honorable Senators.